What the Flick? We're back. Alonso Duralde, Ben Mankiewicz, Matt Atchity, Christy Lemire. Dead Man Down, a title that means nothing. That I can't even remember half the time. I kept thinking it was Dead Dong Dog Ding Dog.
Dead Dog.
Terrence Howard is a New York crime boss.
Okay.
And Colin Farrell is his henchman, but he's got a lot of guys working for him. But the mystery is that someone is out to get him, killing his guys and sending him pictures which indicate that Terrence Howard is marked for death. And all of that leads to Colin Farrell's sort of secret life, which we learn about as the movie progresses, while he develops a relationship with a woman who's been horribly mauled in an accident, so horribly mauled that everybody in the audience who's a guy will want to fuck her. Here's Dead Man Down.
If that's your fetish.
Right, exactly.
The man who did this to me, I want you to kill him.
Is one of the things that keeps happening to her character is that she talks about her life is gone. She can't work anymore.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Later in the movie, you see her working just fine.
With no explanation to that.
But then the other issue is that like there's these kids in the building that they live in who keep messing with her and call her monster, and they like put graffiti on her door and they're throwing rocks at her. I'm like, it's not like she looks like the kid from The Mask.
They needed to go a step further. I mean, they wanted to keep her looking hot. Right. They needed to keep her looking beautiful, but they didn't quite go.
What they needed to do was at the very least make her look like Mel Gibson in The Man Without a Face. Like really make her look messed up.
Yeah,
like
I mean, you could tell they did tests and they just kept dialing it back and dialing it back and dialing it back until the focus group got a boner, you know, and then it was okay.
But their relationship, the relationship that develops between Colin Farrell and Noomi. Noomi? Noomi.
Yes.
Noomi. It's
the best thing in the movie.
It's the best thing in the movie. It's very credible. It takes some very interesting turns. I don't think it ended terribly credibly, but it was credible for the majority of the movie.
There are two different movies going on. There is this like crazy pants crime thing that involves, you know, like threatening letters and phone tapping and jigsaw puzzle pieces and all this stuff. And then you have the, Noomi Rapace relationship, they're both damaged and find each other movie. Either of which I think could have gone into some interesting directions, but together it's this weird jambalaya that doesn't work.
I felt like you started out, at some point you get really close to this really interesting film with the relationship like you talk about, but then you've got all these really obnoxious like Hollywood elements, like, oh, well, we can't make her look too scarred. We gotta end with it, we have to have a big action scene. Like we gotta ramp up this tension for no reason.
You can feel it kind of kicking into this sort of obligatory third act showdown, girl kidnapped.
But it's like it turns into Tango and
Cash. But where you guys are wrong is that I don't think any of those movies would have been particularly good spelled out. Like I think we got just enough to make this just fine. I like the relationship. Isabelle Huppert is
one of the world's great actresses.
Right,
she's lovely.
She's fine. It was not much to do as the mom.
Plays Noomi, mom.
I liked Armando Sante's one scene as the crime boss.
I just thought there were a lot of things, and here's why I think I liked it more than disliked it. Was that that every 6 or 7 minutes it was fairly well written dialogue. There were funny lines in it. It was, I thought, sort of crackling at times. The plot, a little baffling, although no more than, again, every sort of 80s movie.
Yeah, and they're going to explain everything to you at some point.
That was part of the thing, is it felt like it dragged on, like I felt like there was very little life in this movie for whatever reason.
They took itself very seriously.
Yeah, it felt like so heavy, it just dragged on so much.
F. Murray Abraham keeps telling, Colin Farrell, like, why don't you kill him already? I'm like, yeah, why don't you? We can all go home.
The things you think are funny, though, I'm not sure that those were intended to be funny.
That's
I think you were just laughing.
That's okay.
This is the English language debut of the guy who did the original Dragon Tattoo trilogy. And I think, like many European directors who come to Hollywood, he kind of gets shoved into corners he might not have gone to on his own steam.
Okay, so let's do numbers.
Okay.
Right, my number's going to be low because I hate everything. A 3 from me.
I know a couple of times where I thought something funny was happening. I was like, there were people in between us, so I looked down at Christy, and of course
Was I folding
the Christy Lemire still.
Yeah, there were little kids, by the way, at our screening, who I think had more fun than I did.
Which was lame. I found a lot of times I was doing this, the movie, like, the fuck's going on here? And I almost fell asleep, so it gets a 3.
No, 6.2. It's good.
I'm in the middle. I 4.5. There, like I said, some nutty moments. I kind of liked their relationship, but none of this sticks to the wall. So that brings us to a total of 4.2, which is. So
Get it down. If say like that, you'll like it more.
If like Ben, you want to see Edge of Darkness again without seeing Edge of Darkness again, this could be the.
I will say we don't have a score on the site yet because the studio is being extremely strict about their embargo, which means that
never a good sign of their faith in their movie.
Nobody hides good news.